Shalom, Yabashim Shabakata to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahal, Shema Ata Bashim Yasha to all the sisters. This is scripture breakdown class coming from Milwaukee. Um, um, we are under Commander General Yohana of the Isupk coming out of 125th Harlem, New York. And this is the breakdown class. So without further ado, because I'm gonna talk about um, you gotta keep your commandments. I'm gonna talk about that part two. So and because part one was yesterday. I mean the day before yesterday, and it's ancient history, but it's history where you need to be keeping the law, statutes, commandments. So, with that being said, part two is here today. I was gonna do part two um, on Monday, but I'm gonna do part two today. So, without further ado, get me First Kings 8 and 53. 8 and 53. Yeah, 53. Because you got to understand once it's with once it's you got to understand hold on for a second. Um So you who you wanna go?
Oh, whenever you know what you're
doing. You who are the law, statutes, commandments. So you who the nation is built on.
Right.
You the nation is built on. So you have to understand where laws come responsibility. They wasn't given all the laws. You was getting all the laws. You law, statutes, commandments. You is who it is. And with that, I'm do I'm give the a podium for 5,000.
Still 1,000.
1,000 among the bar. Clap it up for him. Yeah.
Make the what,
And you're on the bar.
Clap it up for preaching also with 1,000 Rapayala. Holding it down. I appreciate also for 1,000 among the bar, Isupk Milwaukee. Appreciate y'all checking in with us. Shout out to preaching also 5,000 by the bar out there in St. Louis, Louisiana. Nazamana. Shout out to Chicago, Kwame Dye. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Gonna see some of y'all in Austin this weekend. We got the Austin cookout starting on the 1st. It's starting on the 1st. I'll be traveling down. I ain't gonna get there until Saturday. Some of this Frank and Murr going. Quam's Health and Wellness. Shout out to Quam's Health and Wellness, man. This is the bags before I think he's got his label on them now, but one of the earlier runs of it. Yeah, shout out, appreciate also Kwame Dye. He got that beard hookup, he got the hair hookup. I think it's just a guy's thing, so sisters, y'all can hit up Cat. Actually, no, I think I stand corrected. They got some soaps, they got some other lotions. I do believe as well. Ain't trying to cost that man no money. Yeah, what Rapayala was saying, absolutely right. It's an expectation that people do not want to live up to. For whatever reason. Battling a lot of people right now talking about, God ain't real, showing the existence of God. As if God wants you to even see what's up anyway. That's why a lot of y'all about to go vote. Because you think you know something about something. Maybe he needs you to prove you. It's a tired subject sometimes when we got more real life practical issues to address. Still got this vote coming up right around the corner on the 5th. So like 5 more days. I saw this billboard today. So we got those billboards that they're like all digital now. So they change every maybe like 10, 15 seconds or something. So only caught the first time that it had come across. And I think there was, let me see if we can look it up. We can look it up. I'm gonna see if we can't pull it up on here too. But it said, "Trust Black women," and then like right underneath, it was like vote early or something like that. But if you look up Kamala Harris's campaigns, the way that she's advertising her ads. So when it's talking about abortion and the right to vote, they use the blackface. I saw one where it was talking about the unions, and it was number white people on there about how she's going to secure the unions, and so nobody has to suffer there. But that was all white people. And make no mistake, they're definitely catering each step of the way. Like there is an undertone, there's a narration to every move that's being made here. So let's not we can't be so naive. They got Barack Obama, trying to big up this devil. Well, damn, there was another campaign ad. Actually, no, that might have been the same one. But yeah, like again, they're still trying to play the black card. They're trying to play the black card with Kamala Harris. You don't see them playing the white card or the East Indian card with her when she is white on her father's side, because her father's father is a white man, and she's East Indian on her mother's side. She's not playing to either one of those categories, except for the job security and the unions with the white folk. And then I don't even know what the hell she's trying to do for the East Indians, which I think should prove a very valuable point here, is that those other nations, they're not expected to be part of these political races. I know they had that one dude, shucks. RFK, I can't remember what his actual name was. RFK, I think, where it was his initials. He was like some big, he had a lot of momentum for a while. I believe he was Republican. He had a lot of momentum for a while. He was a candidate, but then he got bumped out at the last bit. Trying to find some of these commercials, man. Like if you're streaming movies or something, I don't know too much about YouTube because I got the premium, so I skip all the ads. I ain't got time for that shit. Like when I'm at work or when I'm on the bus or something like that, I ain't trying to pause for some ad for another campaign or another product or another app or another fucking gaming website that's gonna make you millions. None of them. I should be a millionaire right now by all those little bullshit scams that I've signed up for and paid like $1 or $2 for the initial trial fee. I should be a millionaire right now. They're lies. They're liars. But like if I'm streaming, because I got that Fire Stick. So the apps that I got on there, I think I got Prime, Max, the Disney one, Netflix, Freevee, Tubi, and I think a couple others. But the ones that have to run ads on there, they're pushing a lot of Kamala Harris ads. I've never seen one Trump ad at all, like across like any platform. I don't think I've seen one Trump ad. Maybe I'm not on the right station. I don't know which one is, the Republicans. Is it Vivo that you got to be on? I don't know, but like Kamala Harris is being splashed all over the place, in blackface, and it's the main things I'm hearing is it's abortion, migrant, jobs, abortion, migrant, jobs. So they want to like crack down on, or they want to try to play that they're not loosening the border, which I don't personally give a shit if they do or don't. I know the main arguments is that how it's going to take away from the social security and what else? Social security and like government aid for the people that are already on like EBT, SNAP, WIC. It's going to be taken away from that. I don't know if you guys know this about these people. They've got enough money. It's the U.S. government we're talking about. They just print shit up whenever they want. They have more than enough money to fund these programs, but they're just using that as another scare tactic. I know we're like $6 trillion in debt, and they're still making money. Let's not. I ain't no Kananya, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but let's not pretend like they don't just do what they want to do. They'd find the money for it. Even if it was like such a real thing like that, they would find the money for it. It's not that big of a problem. They can do it. That's one of the issues. And then abortion. And again, when they play in the abortion videos, they're highlighting like their main focus is the Black and Hispanic women. because we are like over 50, 60. I think let's look it up real quick. I think into the 60s and 70 percentile of the demographic who get abortions. Abortion rates. Race. People think that it's not, a racially motivated. That it's never racially motivated. It's never on either side of it. It's not racially motivated for Trump, for Republicans, or for the Democrats. All right, this one isn't that clear. But we're hitting, we're still hitting like crazy numbers. I think across the world, it was like 10 million a year for abortions, something like that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Where was it? Actually, maybe, you know what? I may have misspoke on that. Because in America, they're doing like 300 plus some odd thousand a year on average. Worldwide, they were definitely pushing over 1 million. So even America just itself was like a third of that.
That's Shalaki.
You got it.
That's blacks too.
Yeah.
You should see what it is for Hispanics or Native Americans. It's like 600,000 with all in one.
Right, a little bit of teamwork.
Yes.
Yeah, bump it up. All right, so according to the KFF website, don't ask me what that means, but this was in the time frame of 2021 when this study was conducted. United States, white 30%, black 42%, Hispanic 22%, others 7%. So out of a total of, I guess, a 95 percentile of, they were able to quantify 95% of that pool. So between blacks and Hispanics, 64%. That was just in 2021. Now that number doesn't drastically change within like the years to and from that. Even if we're talking like 100,000, it's still a pretty big number, dude. And these are the issues that people are voting for, that they find that they find themselves so convicted in, that they got to push. You got people that are going to live and die for your right to vote, the issues that they're voting on, the party that they're voting for, so much to the point that you're going to have some slap happy liberal try to take out, Donald Trump with such a sloppy display of marksmanship and cunning. He was right there. People are sitting there pointing. They're like, dude, officer. Right there, like they were pulling on his shoe damn near. Like he's right here. Missed him, by somebody else got shot. If you want to be part of that party. But I guess that's what, and liberals, they're all they're against guns. They want to ban guns and shit too. So of course you'll leave it up to one of them to try to take somebody out with a gun. You should have ran at him like with a pair of scissors or something more formidable for his sensitivity level. You can't let one of them people. You can't let one of them soy boys run out there with a gun try to clip somebody. It just wouldn't work. Should have had somebody. You should have hired a Republican, to do the job. At least he would have had a gun. He would have had some gun experience. At least that he'd have shot the shit out of Trump. He'd have felt bad for it later, but that's what they do. They shoot each other. It's white on white violence.
That's right.
And that was white on white violence. So I don't know who you're crying for. Dude didn't get shot anyway. It's all right. But again, an innocent bystander behind him got shot. Now, again, you could look into that like, well, who was this guy? You know what? Was he a major stockholder in anything? Did they find oil in his backyard? Is he at a Diddy party? Who knows? Ain't speaking of that. But this is why we gotta rid ourselves of these kind of habits. I want to get Ezekiel chapter 22 and 5, I think, is what we're aiming for here. And let me try to run through this. Ezekiel 22 and 5. These people got such we are such a comic show to them that they can mock us and play around with us any old which way they want. They can manipulate us and yep, there we go. 22 and 5. They can manipulate us and pit us against each other with relative ease, and without caring, no guilt about it. They don't give a shit. I know that we got one scripture about like they that so I can paraphrase him. They that slay thee and hold themselves not guilty. That has been the spirit of Western culture for a very long time. That wasn't just specific to their treatment of us. They would treat anybody that way too if they can get away with it. But those other countries, they just have a little bit more resolve. Not just, well, I don't want to put us at a disadvantage like that. They have a government, for starters. Just because Chinese came over here by the boatloads and built the railroads and got treated like garbage, they made money off it. They kept their culture. They kept their name. They adopted America. That wasn't forced down their necks. That wasn't whipped off their backs. Even if they did get abused and mistreated during that time, they left with Chinatown everywhere.
Yes.
Reply?
Smacky, I just want to read Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 5.
Whenever you're ready.
Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 5. That they be near and they and thou be.
Actually, you know what? Let's start from bring this up. Actually, yeah, bring it up to verse 1. Just start at 1.
Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying.
Now, this is a vision that Ezekiel is getting. Like all of this in Ezekiel, like these are all visions and things that he's experiencing. Saki, good.
Verse 2. Now, thy son of man, wilt thou judge the bloody city, and thou shalt show her all the
Abominations.
abominations.
So, all right. So now we all know that Yahushua is renowned for having that title, Son of Man. He's not the only one who's ever had that, though.
That's right.
But in this vision with Ezekiel, it's how he's being directed. In that bloody city, that's not talking about. Even though Milwaukee is a bloody city, it's not talking about Milwaukee. It's not talking about Chicago. It's not talking about New York. It's not talking about Louisiana. It's not talking about Austin. This is talking about Babylon. This is talking about America. This is talking about spiritual Sodom and Egypt. And it's just calling it a city. Just a characteristic. Just how would I say it? Not for location, just kind of slang. It's just kind of like a nickname for it as well. I just don't want people to overthink and be like, oh, this is Tel Aviv or Barcelona or somewhere in Mexico. It's not talking about any specific city. It's talking about this landmass. We're going to see some of the characteristics about it too. Again, judging the bloody city, that's clue number one. America is stained. America is absolutely stained, and you can tie in Britain to this too. You can tie in Europe, hell, if you want. Now they got it real peaceful over there because again, they won. They won against each other. They won over the world, and even some of the conflicts going on between the white people out there. Russia, Ukraine, France, England. Not to say that France and England are in beef, but being allies to Israel and I think Saudi Arabia against like Palestine and Iran and Hezbollah and against their allies. So they've had a foothold. They've been comfortable over there for a long time. Norway ain't got like no problems. They ain't got like no drugs. They ain't got like no drug epidemic. No drugs on the streets. I think prostitution is one of the things, but like everything's legal out there. Clean streets. They ain't got the litter all over the place. They ain't got McDonald's wrappers, flying in the wind. Air pollution. It's nice and breathable out there. Beautiful scenery. They didn't have to. Well, I had to fact check that to see how many people they've had a steamroll to acquire that space. But again, they've been living so cushioned for so long. They get to kick their feet up and reap the benefits of it. Just reap the benefits of it. And then they get to claim, hundreds of years later, how peaceable of a people they are. They've never heard a fly on nobody's head. Slavery don't exist over there. They ain't got no wars. They ain't got no street gangs. They ain't got no Norwegian Crips and Bloods. That'd be funny as hell to see, though. That'd be funny as shit. I can just imagine them sounding like Canada, though. I don't know. That's just what I got in my head. I'm not saying anything good or bad about it. I'm just saying in my head, for my own comedic sake, I think they would sound like Canada. But yeah, you can definitely tell that by the bloody city, all their abominations. What kind of trouble can you not get into in America? Anything taboo, there is a market for it. There's customers, there's buyers, there's sellers. There's the black market, and I was thinking the dark web. The dark web. You got people trying to slang shit on Facebook, man. Like, you tell me that they ain't got like secured platforms where they can operate? Yeah, they do. You got political figures that are in on it, rich, wealthy, powerful, influential people that are in on it right here in America. You ain't got to fly overseas. That might seem more exotic to you, but you can get some of that shit over here too. Yeah, I guess that just depends if you want to be a passport bro or not. I don't know. But this is the world that we're living in, and it's easy for us to identify her. And we're going to keep on calling her out. We're going to keep on shining the light on her because that man of perdition is being revealed. And it needs to be like this. Otherwise, it's never going to stop. Russians ain't going to put a stop to it. Like say World War III, Russia comes out on top. Russians are just going to do their version of it. Yes. It's just going to change flags. That's all that's going to happen. You don't think those crime syndicates and families ain't still going to be in business? War is a business boom for people like this. And the arms trades and the drug trades and human trafficking, like that's not going to stop it. Just because a nuke went off, you think they're concerned about that? Just because a nuke blew something up? No, man. Dude, they got bunkers and things too. What do you think China's gonna do if they come out on top? Dude, Asian people are weird, man. Yeah. If you leave this world, you leave all the resources in this world in their hands, it's about to get strange. Again, dog, you've seen some of the videos about like Russian people anyway, and like you think they're off the hinge. Dude, don't let an Asian get control of the world. Don't let them do it. It's about to get god awful uncomfortable for any straight or sane individual out there.
Shalaki out of the way.
Yeah.
Who will be the least straight besides us? Who will be the least straight?
Hawaiians. I think the Hawaiians would be pretty chill about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Jason Momoa and The Rock. I think they might be, might be pretty cool. Might be all right for a little while. Until that power goes to their head too. I mean, Japhet ain't never been on top like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, shit, we don't know what it's gonna look like with some Polynesians in the helm. I don't know. Do I want to see Eastern Island on North and fucking 43rd right there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think them, well, Aboriginals too. They're all of Australia. They're also Japhet. So yeah, I think they might be the least weird, the least I guess we're past being politically correct on this anymore. I don't know, but yeah, I think they're the least psychotic, the least narcissistic, the least turned on by torture.
Shalakia, because the white people, it's got to go.
They gotta go. Has to. And people don't understand it. Y'all want to talk about racism, man. Listen, put that shit aside for now. The God of the Bible is absolutely a racist.
That's right.
He chose 8 people that he felt was better than everybody else. But here's the kicker. He didn't burn crosses in y'all lawns to establish that.
That's right.
He didn't torture your kids. And he didn't give us commandments to do that neither.
That's right.
We, the Isupk Milwaukee and Commander Johnny Hanna, to be more accurate, we are a separatist group.
That's
right. The racism, well, the racism is right here. It's dear and near.
Yes.
Now, with that racism, what's it look like? Eradication of drugs and narcotics. That's our version of racism.
That's right.
So that drug dealers and human traffickers can never be in a position of power again to where they can damage somebody like that again. And just get away with it. Because again, their people are in office. Their people help them get to that point. You watch all these movies and shows like Boardwalk Empire, Scarface, even like they have political ties there too. Corrupt cops and whatnot. That's our version of racism. Sobriety, cleaning up the streets, tearing down those how does it say in second Corinthians, tearing down of all the the dark places of the dark, and how does that go? The powers and principalities, tearing down the powers and principalities of this world. That's what our racism looks like. I think that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the best on earth. The best cooks, the best entertainers, the best athletes, musicians, the kindest, most benevolent, the sweetest, the toughest, the strongest, the smartest. All that without touching one of your kids. Without firing you from a job just because of your skin color or ethnicity. Without lynching you from a bridge or from a tree or from any other fancy high structure that seems to catch my eye that day. I think we are the best without shackling your child to a dartboard and playing hit the cracker baby or hit the Punjab baby or hit the fly catcher baby. That last one was talking about Africans. If hit the 33 cent a day baby, I don't know, but that's what our racism looks like. Cleaning up the world and not just shitting on people because they're not us. Just loving us more, loving us better than how we have loved each other under this regime, under the last regime, under the regime before that, under the regime before that. You'll appreciate us in power. Because these people, it has to go. It has to go. Otherwise, what's the point of life? what's the point of living anymore? If these people are just going to continue to reign and just eat up all the benefits, never get punished for nothing, people just want to think about karma. Maybe karma just hasn't come back from yet. It's been like a couple thousand years of their bullshit, dude. Karma's taking a long time. That's your complaint about God too, but God is actually working. Not only is he stirring up these nations to go at each other's throat, he's stirring up his people to take that place back. With the right moral compass and ammunition to execute this job. When we are in that position of power, the world is going to be better. Until then, we're just going to be the laughing stock. We're going to be their drug mules. We're going to be their voting pundits. That just sounds like a bad word. I don't know if it necessarily is, but it feels like a bad word. I don't like using. Masaki, keep reading.
Verse 3. That then thou say thou thou sayest the Lord God, I shed thy city shed blood in the midst of these. Thou shalt take.
It's like I got it. Verse 3. Then say thou, thus saith the Lord God, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. The things that they're doing, the pedestal that they put themselves on, it is disgusting. It is shameful, even to themselves, but they still use it to exalt themselves. It's kind of like a two-edged sword in that way. They don't care how shameless they are. They put it right on public TV. 16-year-old 16 and pregnant. That show was going on for some years. Like, that was dumb as hell, but that was a damn near that was the acceptable American culture too. People didn't necessarily want to see it, but you couldn't stop watching the damn show. I know a lot of people that watch the hell out of it, and they always talk bad about it, like, well, first off, these girls are not mature enough to do this, blah blah blah. But you're living in such an overly sexualized country, and it's all about freedom and liberties and experiences. You gotta go through these life experiences if you're ever gonna get to know you. And as a result, we got My 700-Pound Life. What was that one show? They had those little kids doing the beauty pageant thing. Forgot the name of that series, but those are the reality shows. You get Jersey Shore. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's American Pride. You get the Kardashians. Like, that's a new standard that people are living by. You get Pizzagate. You get the Bohemian Grove. You get some sexually degrading what's it called? Hazing in colleges, trying out for your Greek fraternities. Like, it's shameful stuff. But then at the end of the day, like, they're high-fiving each other after they just got them paddling each other butt naked and passing an egg from one mouth to the next. It gets, it gets out of hand. And again, with these people in control, it's never going to stop. But we see how they shed blood in just right broad daylight, dude. When they gunned down that brother Ahmaud Arbery, that was broad daylight. The video that we showed on, I think it was on this past Sunday, that brother walking through that white neighborhood, sun was shining, birds were chirping, dude. It wasn't like under the cover of darkness with a deep fog, and he was all masked up. I think he had like a turquoise shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't help but spot him. He was right there. And dude sitting on his goddamn mountain bike, just pedaling after him. They had the whole minivan packed. Like, kids, see, this is how you do it. You got to watch these Negroes. They made it a family thing. They shed him blood right in the middle of the streets. And her time is coming. Like, the Most High is definitely letting this calf get fat. So that when it does happen, ain't nobody going to be confused about who caused it. The prophecies are right here. The priests are right here. The prophets are out on the street corners that you walk by. On the YouTube channel, on the shorts and reels, since we're in this age of technology, taking advantage of it, you can find us everywhere. We're telling you in stages since 1969, what's going on and what to expect, what to look for. Verse 4, thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thine idols, which thou hast made, and thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. Therefore I have made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries. We are doing the same thing that we learned from these bastards. We ain't doing nothing different from them. Nothing. And it is so disgusting and shameful that we become the guilty party in all this too. Like, they talk about black on black violence, right? Black on black crime. I was just kicking it with Rapah, I think. Or it's like Kananya. I'm kicking with you now. Kicking it with Kananya, and we were just talking about how you don't really hear the term white on white violence. But when you think about it, like we gloss over the shit that they've done to each other. We're just on the subject of white on white. We gloss over the things that they've done to each other. So prior, and I'll just look at what's going on in America. I know more about the history of the wars in America than what they did to each other overseas. But even like the Greco-Roman era too, like all the little tribes or clans, I should say, that they were fighting back then too. It's that's just white on white violence. But here in America, so you had the American colonists and pilgrims and settlers and convicts and thieves and killers who came over here, again, fighting and butchering everything that walked. After a while, when they grew and they wanted independence from mom, they wanted to leave the house, right? They ended up having a full-on war with Britain. Those are two white countries that ended up going to war with each other. There was a lot of people that died in those wars too. Thousands and thousands. Maybe that doesn't sound bad enough, like millions and millions. Does it gotta take millions though? Like, should it really have to go that far? And like 60,000, ain't that enough? I think that's a pretty good number for a cemetery. If you were to look at a cemetery with 60,000 some odd grave markers on there, I think you'd agree that that's a large number of bodies. And then after that, what'd you have? You had a civil war. After they had won that war here in America and settled their ass down, you had a fight between them for control and for power and for resources and wealth. You had a fight between them. The thousands and thousands, getting killed, getting clipped off. What did we have afterwards? I can't remember what order these wars are going to go in. There's a Revolutionary War, a Civil War. And then there were, I think the small skirmishes that I'm thinking of were part of the Civil War. Like Gettysburg and Wounded Knee and all that. Yeah, I think that might have been all part of those wars, like smaller little battles in between them. Other scholars with more education on the history, you know what I'm getting at here. And those were big events that happened. So those were countries battling it out. Those were states going to war with each other. Those weren't street gangs driving by and shooting up the block. even though that is unacceptable in itself. We've never had a history here of committing crimes like that against each other. And then we'll talk about how the natives were such savages against one another. That was the picture that was painted about us, first off. Not to say that we did not have any altercations with each other prior to the devil coming in, but it wasn't how it was painted in the history books. And that was still a byproduct of coming to a new land after captivity. So now, fast forward, I mean, you still have governments, you still have countries waging war against each other, competing, fighting against each other, plotting and scheming against each other, and we've idolized that. We've picked up kind of where they left off, in a sense, as far as like the internal civil wars. Because again, damn, it bit my tongue. Yes, blacks and Hispanics, especially combined, I think either one might. Well, I think white people still would beat the Hispanics. But we are responsible for the majority of the violent crimes in America. We are also the biggest victims of those violent crimes in America. We're not targeting we're not targeting Jason Momoa on The Rock. You know, we're targeting Cat Williams and Kevin Hart. Where we're on each other's necks. We're not battling the Klan. We're, again, the ages or tale as old as time. Crips and Bloods, GD and Vice Lords, Lion Kings and MPs. At least in Milwaukee, I don't know what they did in other cities, but it's on a smaller scale. Their violence is on a bigger scale. But now we become guilty in the bloodshed that we've spilled. We're not supposed to be criminals. You ain't supposed to murder nobody. Nobody. Rape in the Bible, according to God, is punishable by death. You ain't supposed to be sexually assaulting anyone and getting away with it. Hell no. Hell no. That's an automatic reset button. You're not getting therapy. You're not sitting on death row. You're not looking at 25 to life. You're not looking at 15 to 20 good behavior. Let that be a minor. You are dead. You are unalive. I think I probably already got us flagged and clipped already with some of the words I've used. Lock it to the men above me. But just to speak plainly to the people that think our God is all about this and our God is all about that. A lot of the issues that you see going on today is not a construction of God. He did not invent the torture racks that they had during the Spanish Inquisition or during the medieval era. That was y'all imagination. That movie Django, when they had Jamie Foxx up in the barn and Samuel L. Jackson sitting there talking to him, they're like, you should hear these white people. Like, you think that they never had an idea, and they coming up with all types of creative ways to cut your balls off. That was y'all. That was the devil that the Bible speaks of, coming up with all these different inventions. The Most High did make AIDS, absolutely, but he did not make Studio 54, where a whole lot of weirdo stuff came down. He gave y'all monkeypox, but he didn't put y'all on that cruise ship. He didn't say, here, come and get them. He said, listen, this is going to be the result of it. But we have become guilty of the blood that we shed, man. And we defiled ourselves with our idols. Look how crazy we get over St. Mary, that statuette, that figurine of her. That's why we got one hanging at camp. That's why we got a Santa Claus hanging at camp. That's why we got a doormat of Caesar Borgia. Because we have become so stinking disgusting with the idol worship that we partake in. And it's going to go from the Unk to Bob Marley. People damn near people are ready to getting into fights over Bob Marley. You say that he ain't shit. You say he a white boy, he ain't a brother, he can't come to the cookout. People try to fight you for that. And he was a huge poster boy for drugs. just like Snoop Dogg is today too. It's so cool. It's so mature. Look how much fun they're having. Dude quit like 8 times or something. I don't know if it was all like for health or mental reasons, but like dude like quit, but then he always relapsed. He always went back to it, and now that like he's like typecast forever. You will not know that man for anything but being a drug addict. That's it. Which is one thing I'm gonna give Chris Tucker props for not wanting to continue in that Smokey Friday franchise and play that character, because he did not want to keep on portraying that image. And Dave Chappelle, all the skits that he was making about his own people too, cracking jokes on them. He didn't want to keep on perpetuating that image, so he fell back. He didn't want to do that no more. We never see the fruits of that kind of success. To make a mockery of it. Now Tyler Perry, there's an example of somebody who accepted, prospered, got very successful off of wearing a dress. And he's also backing Kamala Harris. He's another black face using to boost her ratings and make her more comfortable and acceptable to the black community. Which if you get them to jump ship from their culture and follow you, a lot of white America is going to follow that example too, because now it's trendy. They think they probably think they're going to be able to say the N-word now if enough white people vote for Kamala Harris non-black self. They'll probably think they can get away with dropping an M-bomb at the club or something with you. Don't take your friend to the club, man. We became guilty of that, man. And now people look down at us for being criminals, for being drug users, drug sellers, for being violent, when we learned all of this from them. And that came tied into those idols that we worship too. That they went hand in hand. Verse 5. Yeah, we still got a little bit. All right. Verse 5. Those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. Again, you think these people, China, Japan, they got such a rich culture, right? It's all ancient and mysterious and like poetic and artistic and all that. Dude, they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you. We become a mockery to people out there in China, in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Japan, in the sticks, in the jungles of Vietnam. They're laughing at us. They ain't got no respect for it. They sitting there living in dirt huts too, laughing at you, knowing that you done sold out for your oppressors. That's why them Germans, when during World War II, those are some of the other words that I forgot about too. World War I, World War II, you had whole nations fighting that one out. Again, predominantly white people. White on white violence. There was a lot of death then too. During World War II, you had them Germans telling the black folk, like, dude, this ain't got nothing to do with you, man. They weren't trying to bomb Harlem, but again, if you leave it up to these people, like if they were to conquer the Eastern Hemisphere and then start making their way west, yeah, they was going to steamroll over through the neighborhood, absolutely. But they were telling, like, dude, like we're not, this war had nothing to do with you. Go home, man. Go home. This is a white thing. It's essentially what they were trying to tell them. This is a white people thing. Don't get involved with this one. This ain't your fight. Vietnam was kind of the same thing too. I think some of the propaganda they were saying out there too was like, black dudes, like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, those are your oppressors. Why are you fighting their fight? And we signed up. Okay?
And they know that we fought and they won. We won. But if we didn't fight, they was gonna win. That's why they spoke about going home this not your war and stuff like that, because they know when we fight,
Right.
we win.
Absolutely, and the drugs too in Vietnam.
Yep.
That kept so many brothers docile, hooked, OD'd. You know, it's what did we gain from that? An empty promise? Because how many veterans came home? How many of their own veterans come home and don't receive any of the benefits that they were supposed to get from those wars? From losing a leg, losing an arm, come back with diseases and whatnot, losing an eye, half your skull. That's what you're signing up for. With these people, man, it ain't none of our business. But we want to meddle in their affairs because it's America. We're all one here. We're not. Hate to break it to you. I hate to break your heart, and I hope it does, because we need that to shatter sometimes. That ego, that chip, that protective dome that's got people thinking like we're all equal. It says it in the Constitution, so it's got to be true. Especially when they say it to my face, as if they haven't lied to your face before. Like that's a new thing to these guys. Verse 6. Oh, it's like my fault. I wasn't done on this. Yeah, shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. We're talking about some sick individuals overseas and right in our backyard, foreign and domestic. Not only threats, but psychos. All the murder in the world behind, in their reputation, behind their names. All the drugs, all the human trafficking, all the abuse, all the sexual deviancy, just piled up. But we're the bad guy. We're still like they are known criminals, historical criminals, but they still look down on you. At that voting booth, you think either one of them, say they win, you think Donald Trump or Kamala Harris is going to come out here to Milwaukee and shake your hand? No, they're on TV. They're shaking the hands of the people that are on TV with. They're not going to come here for you. In Green Bay on the reservation, like, are you kidding me, dog? If you want a reservation, man, and get ready in December. We're going to be making a trip up to the Menominee Reservation. Before I forget to make this announcement, we got it set so far in December. Like the first weekend in December is where we'll be booting up to head up there. Lord allow the weather is going to be in our favor, but we're going to be trying to get an indoor venue too. So anybody in the Midwest area, if you got any food, you got any clothing you'd like to donate for the food and clothing giveaway when we go up to the res, start stacking that up. If you're in Chicago, sis, if you're still with us, Kwamada. If you're in Chicago, hook them brothers up. So that we can have the resource that they got out there. It's we think it's bad here in our cities. That it's hard enough to get some help around here. They got it even worse up there. So in December we're gonna be heading up that way. Yeah, so that's one event coming up, and again we got Austin coming up right around the corner. But we're talking about some sick individuals who's still looking down on you, who are still gonna mock you, knowing that they're on the top of the mountain of these criminal organizations, and they're still looking down on us, still mocking us, and we're still idolizing them, trying to be like them. It don't make no sense. That's why we're getting laughed at. Where's the verse that I'm looking for to cap this one off, though? Just like, give me 1 second. Like, you can keep on reading on this, and it'll fill you in on more of the point that I'm getting at too, about how just again how self-degrading we are as a people, and how even lower we get looked at by these other nations. And that's again as a result of us following in their footsteps, treating each other the same way that we got treated by them. So this was Ezekiel chapter 22. So check out Ezekiel. A lot of prophecies, a lot of visions that he was checking out here that we can coattail to pretty much any era in our existence in America. Primarily in America is where you see a lot of this being unfolded. Because we're talking about like the more dominant or more popular known things that happen. The transatlantic slave trade. You can't get no bigger than that. As far as the slave trade goes, they want to talk about the sub-Saharan slave trade. That wasn't nowhere near as big, prolific, marketed as the transatlantic slave trade. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows about that story. You still got some people that never heard of the sub-Saharan slave trade. But again, we give these people enough time, it's going to turn into the cruise, the transatlantic cruise. We bought tickets for it. It was our choice to come over here. Didn't Kanye West almost say some dumb shit close to that? Slavery was a choice. Yeah.
When he was blocking Donald Trump.
Right. Imagine that, right? Aren't you shocked by hearing that news? And right away, soon after that, I can say it was Donald Trump himself that did it, but soon after that, the world looked at him like he was a lunatic. Some of the things that he was doing. So I mean, it's that's the environment that we've permeated, that we've just let fester around us. It's a wound that needs to get cut out because we're not like that, man. Like we can be tough, you can be soldiers, you can be brave and brolic. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nobody gonna take away your masculinity. Just like the sisters, man. Like y'all too damn masculine. Trying to get your femininity back. You ain't got to fight as hard as you do like that no more. You got brothers here that'll take up that battle. Fight spiritually. Fight that kitchen. Fight with them kids. You know what I'm saying? Fight going out to the club. Fight listening to your single aunt with 10 kids. Fight that. Stop fighting your husband. Stop fighting your brothers, man. Again, that's the world. That's the world that we're in right now, and we're taking the brunt of the scrutiny for it because again, we're not doing nothing different than these people. We're not. All right, we're not eating dogs. That's never really been a thing for us. I don't think. In the Bible they want to talk about you can go eat babies. That's not what the hell that passage was about. We were in war. There was an embargo of food and water. We were boiling leather sandals just for the broth, just for some semblance of beef. And you had people that fell weak and ate their kids. And we've been paying for that ever since. That was never a thing that God had allowed. Well, why couldn't he just come in and stop the pain? We were going through punishments. And why? And we're seeing more and more brothers and sisters starting to wake up and trying to fix themselves and get right. That little light at the end of the tunnel, it's starting to get a little bit closer. Bit by bit, it's starting to get a little bit closer.
That's right.
The other part now is, Zephaniah 2:1, gather together, O nation not desired. Don't nobody want to gather like that unless it's on their own terms. Like you don't want to get right unless you can control it yourself because you need that sense of control. And I completely understand that. I completely get it. But that's not how we're going to get out of this. By you still wanting to be in control. You don't know what the hell to do with your own life, let alone how to fix the nation. You're not that cool. I'm telling you right now, you are not that cool. I just saw another campaign for this other brother. Looks like he's living in his car, but he's King David. I think he's King David. Huh? He's King David. By the Most High authority, Ahaya. A couple other titles he gave himself: sovereign citizenry or citizenship. Because they were trying to evict him. If I'm reading the case file right, they're trying to evict him. So he's invoking his sovereign citizenship under this new Hebrew name that he was given by God, stepping into the line of succession of King David as the new king of Israel. So he's stepping into his throne, and you can find all of this on Facebook. It's all right there. He's back. Nothing to worry about now. He's just trying to get up out of his car. Once he gets out of his car, though, it's on. Once he gets out of his car, it's on and popping. So give the brother some gas money. Get him a little motel room or something, at least just for the night, make him feel better. But that's the world that we're living in right now. Once he's up out of that joint, we're gonna be up out of America. So with that, listen, check out the school near you. This weekend, it's going down in Austin Cookout. All the brothers that are standing for Hebrew Academy that we're going to meet down there, Lord be with you. We'll see you. We'll see you in the training field soon. We got dedication coming up, the Feast of Dedication, aka Hanukkah. That's going to be December 25th, I believe, this year. Slack it. Let me double check. I just saw the announcement earlier today. It's not it.
I know what Miss
Yeah. This year was 25, 26.
Feast of Hanukkah. Next month on
It's in December.
next month on the 25th.
Yeah, so December 25th. That's got nothing to do with Jesus Christ, by the way. He was not born December 25th. I don't even think Santa Claus was made up on December 25th. I believe Caesar Borgia, though, I don't know. I don't know too much about dude, except for I hate him. I don't know that much. But you're going to see a lot of claims about a lot of other people that didn't exist about being born on December 25th and how that ties into Yahushua. It doesn't. But Nimrod, I believe, is the closest you can get to being to one of those major figures being born on that very special of days. What is it? I think it's another Tuesday that it falls on. Miracles. Oh, don't tell me I'm right about that. What is that? Monday or Wednesday? Miracles. Wednesday. All right. So it's going to be on a Wednesday, December 25th, for a span of 8 days. So get your candles ready or get your oil lamps ready. And let's do this right. Let's not let them small hats outshine us. They're not going to out Hanukkah us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're some cheap for their reputation precedes them. Absolutely. They're some cheap bastards anyway. But we are not going to let them just hijack our culture and water it down the way that they've been. So it's time that we stop looking so abominable to each other and stop treating each other like goddamn monsters. Check out Ezekiel 22, man. Find out what we're talking about. Check out Zephaniah 2:1. Check out Revelation 18:4. Check out Deuteronomy 17:15. And tune into the school near you with that Israel Shalom. The water.